everybody, I'm here today with David Dawley. He's actually, I call him the Callaway guy, but he's affectionately known to me as Dog, because I've known David forever. And David's actually, a little history about David is he was a very accomplished player from Oklahoma State, actually played some professional golf, and Oklahoma State, I always say that because that's our alma mater and that's where we come from. But I'm here today talking about the new Opus SP Wedges. I want David actually represents Callaway in Oklahoma and in this part of the country, and the expert in a lot of the Callaway clubs and the wedges and so on. And it's very interesting, and I brought David in here today for, other than just to talk about the wedges, but for another reason is we go way back in short game. You guys know at home about my expertise or how I enjoy the short game, or I love the short game. I mean, I'm all about the short game. And David we might as well be twins in this area. I mean, here's the deal. When David played golf at Oklahoma State, he wasn't the big guy. He wasn't the guy that bashed it. He wasn't the long guy. Am I right, David?
That's correct.
Yeah, but his short game was amazing. And when we grew up playing together and playing a lot of tournaments together and so on, when David was a little bit younger than me, but I used to always go out and watch his short game and loved it. So when he comes to me and says, I've got a new wedge or I've got a new putter or something's really cool, I respect him or trust him more than anybody because of his short game. And you still have that short game. You don't play much anymore,
I don't play much, no.
But still a pretty good short game.
I tell you, and it's hard to get excited about a wedge every 18 months, but when I told you earlier today, this one I'm excited about. This one you can sit down, you feel like you can hit any shot.
David walked in this morning and brought the wedges to me, first time I'd seen them, and he immediately said, we got to get this fit for you right now. We made some adjustments on it, we got to go hit some. And he never does this. He goes, we got to go hit some, you got to go feel this, you got to go feel this. He immediately said that to me. So talk about this wedge, because he's excited about it, so let's talk about it.
So the Opus, the one we came, 15, 16 months ago.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago.
So they worked really hard on the design, the look, the feel, the way it interacts with the ground. There were 6 iterations on the PGA Tour to get it right.
And they were good. So think about it, 6 different wedges went out there before the PGA Tour said, I love this one.
Yep.
So in the first 5, you guys, no one ever saw them.
Right.
Then the 6 came out, that's when we got.
And that's where the Opus came from. And they did the angle groove, so when you get around the greens, you can cut across of it, more ball is spinning more out of the rough. But now what they've done is they've taken it to a whole new level. There's no technology in a wedge.
Right.
This is the first one.
Technology, so think about it.
Technology in a wedge.
And this is the beauty of Callaway. And I always tell you guys this at home, that people always say, why do you deal with Callaway so much? Why do you only deal with Callaway? Because I always say this, because the quality is so high, but more importantly, the technology is so high. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The technology at Callaway far superior than everybody else, because it's AI technology.
Yeah, AI. That's right. And the innovation in the team and the engineers and Chip is always about make a product that performs. It takes care of itself. And
the greatest thing about Callaway, I want to get a little bit more on this wedge, is they do real players' data.
Absolutely.
So they're not just going to the tour pro and saying, hey, what do you want? They're taking all the players out there, they're getting data from all the players and going to them and saying, okay, now let's use our AI technology and start creating products. And this one happened to be the wedge. So talk about this, why this SP wedge is so good. So it's the Opus SP.
SP stands for spin pocket.
Spin pocket, okay.
Pretty easy to remember. Okay. Spin pocket.
Spin pocket.
So everything about the Opus is the same as far as the design.
Right.
All right. The shaping, design, everything.
Which is beautiful.
But the face of it, behind the face, I wish I had a pull apart. Behind the face is the pocket, right in the center. What that allows for us to do is move the center of gravity up on the wedge.
So the center of gravity
what's important to all of us, especially in Oklahoma, is being able to flight a wedge.
Right.
Hit some low shots, hit some high shots. Really have control.
So I want to highlight this here for a second, because number one, it's the first thing you brought to me on this, but there's a spin pocket in there. And we'll put a diagram on there for them, so they'll see it. They'll see some pictures on this. But here's the deal. Explain why moving that up and flighting a wedge. Explain that a little bit. So tell me, so you have somebody else in there right now that doesn't really understand this concept. Explain that to them.
So CG, center of gravity, the lower it is, the higher you hit it. If you move it up, you can flight it, keep it down. So it keeps the ball down on the path. Right?
So you're hitting shots into the wind. You guys email me all the time and say, how do I hit those medium, low shots that stop fast in the green? You're hitting shots that have a really slick green or fast green, and you want to keep it down, because you throw it up in the air, you can either catch the wind, you can have problems.
Lose control.
Lose control. I mean, guys, remember, there's times you want high balls, or times you want low balls. But remember, even talking to Mo Norman, you always ask Mo, how do you play your game, or how do you play wedges? And you always say, I play by height, I play by height, I play by height. People always ask Mo, and he'd say, I play by height. This is what, to become a good wedge player, to become a good game, to become a good around the greens, you got to be able to flight the wedges.
That's right.
Because if you throw it up too high, you can't control it. What's going to happen? This does it for you. This helps you,
That's right. That's correct. And if you've got a shot in the back pin and you need to hit that one hop stop, this is the wedge.
This is it.
This is it. The spin also comes from the angle of the groove. They changed it from 37-degree angle to a 17, which adds 300 to 400 more RPMs inside that 30-yard range.
Explain that a little bit more there. So
the angle of the groove.
You sound like an engineer.
I'm not.
No, I love it. Okay.
But if you change the angle of the groove, the more the ball grabs the groove, the more spin you can put onto the ball. So on those short 30 to 40-yard shots, that's where it's harder to spin the ball because you're not hitting a full shot.
100%.
So you don't have the speed to get the spin to come up the face. So if you change the angle of the groove to 17 from 37, you narrow it, it grabs more of the ball, puts more spin on the ball.
And you guys know when we have the thing, I send out the article about rate your wedge game, or a lot of you guys rate your wedge game out there. Remember, spin on the wedge is determined by the ball you're hitting, how soft the ball is, the angle of attack and your speed. Okay, and that kind of is combined. So the faster you swing it, the more spin you have. But the biggest thing on that, other than those two characteristics, is the club itself.
That's right.
And when you talk about impact with the club, you're talking about the grooves in the face.
That's correct.
And so when you change the grooves, when you make higher technology in the grooves, you can create more spin. But the interesting part about this and the technology that Callaway's really put into this thing is that not only they change the grooves to create more spin, they change the center of gravity in that club. So now you can flight that spin.
Now you have a precise wedge. You can do anything you want with it.
Right, and that's the beauty of that. So, and it's kind of interesting because also to describe a little about the face itself, because when I rub, people always say this. I'm sure you guys have watched my video now and you're going to see me doing this constantly, rubbing the face this wedge, am I right?
Oh yeah.
Because good players are players. I'm not saying I'm a good player, but will want to feel that face. Describe that. I mean, describe when you sit there and you feel that, because you can feel the spin on the head.
And you can also a lot of times feel the width of the grooves, width of where they cut the grooves, and you can tell right here, right away, I can grab this golf ball.
I love it. I love it.
I can grab it.
Now, we at Graves Golf, we create ones that are, what we did at Graves Golf is that we got a lot of Mo's wedges, okay, and wedges he played over the years. And what we did is we took those wedges and I went to Roger Cleveland. And Roger Cleveland was the guy that basically designed your guys' original technology and the best technology in the wedges and so on, okay? And I know there's some old video of Roger. And we said, hey, what do you see common characteristics in these wedges that Mo played that are matched or we can put into the Callaway wedges? And he said, number one is when Mo hit the very lofted wedges, the 60 degrees, the 58, and so on, he always had basically a C-type grind on it, which is a grind that keeps that leading edge down.
A little more aggressive.
A little more aggressive, and it keeps, so when you hit a flop shot or you hit a pitch type shot and a tight lie, you can keep that leading edge of that club down, okay? But then the other thing that he did was 56 was kind of like the borderline club. Like you could put a C grind in there, an S grind in there for more full shots. But you don't need that in like the 52s and 50s because those are basically full type shots, am I right?
That's correct.
Explain a little bit more about that, just a little bit about the grinds on clubs.
So the grind is very important also on the turf conditions. And if you're soft or firm or whatever, the firmer the turf conditions, you want a little more leading edge that can dig through it and not get caught. So vice versa, if it's soft, you don't want a sharp leading edge because you dig it and it stick and you fat it. But the whole thing with the grind is about turf interaction also. And the S grind, you're usually hitting full shots. Especially with the loft of the club changing.
So we're talking gap wedge, or even what you consider a pitching wedge in this, like a 48 or a 50.
Which was when we played, the pitching wedge was 48.
Exactly. Now they've gotten very strong now, but so when you're hitting full swings, you're looking at S grind. But when you have those clubs, you're hitting half shots, pitch shots, chips. You want to go C grind. C grind, or a potential X grind. I mean, there's even some X grind.
There's a new one called the X. We had it a few years back. We're bringing it back. So.
But the best thing I can do on this and tell you guys, and when we start matching this up, is that I fit you personally. We make sure the length, line angle, shaft flex, grip size all fit you perfectly. And then I make sure the grind is working out for you guys on that. And we make sure that all fit you perfectly. But the beauty of the thing we did is that we took the wedge itself, we put the characteristics of most wedges in there. A little heavier shaft, got the single plane grip on there, got and we put Mo's name on the back of it.
That's right.
So, and the reason we did that is because if Mo was still alive today, which was many years ago, he passed away, this would be the wedge he'd want. This is the one he'd be playing because it matches his characteristics, which obviously works for our single plane swing.
Perfect.
So, and that's why you'll see the new ones in the SP version. We have them so that the Mo Norman stamped on them.
It's going to be cool.
It's going to be really cool. We're really excited about it because we're bringing this back into play. We're bringing it back into focus because it's basically the Mo Norman signature version of the series, and Callaway did that for us. So, on camera, I want to thank David for this because he really helped us set this up. But we got that Mo Norman signature coming back, the signature series coming back.
And I'm fired up about it because of the wedge with Mo Norman's signature, but the wedge will perform. I think Mo would be happy.
Oh, I think he'd love it. I think it would. Mo loved it. You guys, we have a lot of short game video of Mo about that and talking about, he always talked about the height he played it and the way he would check and the way he could play different shots. I mean, it was amazing. And we did that. And with today's ball,
Yeah.
And with these wedges, I mean, come on, that just maximizes your short game. So
we may be a play again.
I love it. So talk. Other thing about this. Talk about the last thing on this is just a little bit about the metal or how soft this is, because that's the other question. Okay.
It is softer feeling
Right.
than the last one. I don't know if it has to do. It's the same material as we've used in the past, but it may have something to do with the center of gravity coming up.
I brought this up as a loaded question because a few minutes ago I went out and hit these things, and the very first thing I said, I go, "This feels softer."
It does feel
And
softer.
so that's what I said. And I said, I mean, I was hitting my golf ball. And I know about what my wedges feel, and I practice with them for hours a day. And I said, this one feels softer. And he goes, that's the spin pocket you're feeling. Gets the same metal and so on. That's what you're feeling.
If that CG coming up may change that.
It made it feel softer.
Yep.
So anything else you want to bring on the wedges?
Get yours today.
No, they're great. You guys know how I feel about this. You know, that lob wedge, you need to be wearing out. You need to be replacing the thing every couple of months. You need to practice with enough to wear that thing out. The other wedges, but let us fit you. You know, you email me at timg@greatestgolf.com, or, you know, you can look online anytime, but we'll fit you perfect for a wedge because it's critical that's fit for length, lie angle, wedges and lie angle is huge. You know, shaft, we're going to get the right weight shaft, the grip size on there and so on, but let us take care of you on that. And these new Opus SP wedges are amazing. And thanks for your time, bud. Thank you, bud.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Appreciate it.